Welcome everyone, my name is Rigel and today we're taking a look at what we know so far about the Eurovision Song Contest 2023 as of April of 2023. And yes, that means this is the final installment of this series that I've been running unofficially for a while. If you're into this kind of stuff, do let me know in the comments below. I'll try to bring it back for next year if I have time. So yeah, with that said, this is what we know so far about the Eurovision Song Contest 2023 as of late April of 2023. Of course, the contest really isn't that far away now, so let's just take a look at what we have out of all the information that we've gotten officially and unofficially. So here we are. Of course, I'm not just going to be reading off of the Wikipedia article, but I will be mostly staying on here. I'll switch to the blog post wherever needed. So yeah, with that said, let's start with the basics. Obviously, the contest is taking place in Liverpool at the Liverpool Arena, which is also known as the M&S Bank Arena. And the dates of the live shows are the 9th, 11th, and 13th. Now, I'm not sure when I'm going to be uploading this, so if I do manage to upload it somehow before Monday, then there's actually tickets that are available for sale, a second round, I think. But if you're watching this after that, then well, too bad, they're probably sold out again. But anyways, the hosts are going to be Alicia Dixon, Hannah Waddingham, Julius and Nina, rather, and Graham Norton. Now, Graham Norton is also going to be the commentator for the BBC. Actually, what's interesting is that, Graham Norton actually took over as BBC commentator from Terry Wogan. And what's interesting is that in 1998, Terry Wogan actually also was part commentator and part host of the grand final, which, obviously Graham Norton is doing again. So yeah, that's very interesting. But the other three hosts will also be present in the semifinals. And also we know that, according to Hannah Waddingham in an interview, or rather he was on some sort of late show thingy in the United States, and she said that for the voting sequence, that is the sequence where they go to all the national juries from the different countries, and basically that sequence, plus of course a televote announcement, that's gonna be done by her as well as Graham Norton. So there's that. So yeah, that's very interesting. Let's have some more details about the hosts. Obviously, Hannah Waddingham, and she's mostly known as an actress. Alicia Dixon, I think, had a hit song in the UK around the late 2000s. I'm not sure, and Julius and Nina is actually the lead singer of a band named The Hard Kiss, which is interesting because we are going to look next at the interval acts and the opening acts, which are going to be written right here. So it will be opened by Julius and Nina and her band performing a song from The Hard Kiss named Mayak, and then after that, for the first semifinal, there will be Rita Ora performing a medley of her songs, as well as a new single named Praising You. And she actually said in an interview that there's going to be over 50 dancers, so that's going to be huge. And also, Alyosha will perform Ordinary World with Rebecca Ferguson, who is a singer from Liverpool. So yeah, that's the first semi-final, and after that we have the second semi-final, where Luke Evans will be doing a spoken word piece on the history of Eurovision, and then there's gonna be kind of a medley of Ukrainian music performed by Maria Yaremchuk, Altoy, and Zlata Zunka. And Zlata Zunka you might recognize from Junior Eurovision 2022. And then after that we have a show named Be Who You Wanna Be, which is performed by three drag performers, which is very interesting. So after that, of course, we have the final. It'll be opened by Kalush Orchestra. Their performance is called Voices of a New Generation, including a bunch of songs, including Stephania. And then there'll be a flag parade. And what's interesting about this flag parade is that there's going to be previous Ukrainian Eurovision names, Go-A, Jamala, Tina Karol, and Verka Serduchka. They will be in the flag parade, and they'll be performing, I think they called it new editions of their Eurovision classics. And after that, we have the interval acts. Of course, we will have Sam Ryder. We don't know what he's performing yet, but I would presume at least Spaceman and maybe some other new song, no clue. And also the what they call the Liverpool Songbook, where Cornelia Jacobs, Davi Freyer, Duncan Lawrence, Mahmoud Netta, and Sonia will be, or Sonia, whatever, you get it. They will be performing a bunch of classic songs that came from Liverpool, basically. So yeah, they're gonna be covering some classic songs that came from Liverpool. I would guess some Beatles songs in there, obviously, but yeah. So a bunch of recent, Eurovision names. I have to say, I'm really surprised that Cornelia got invited for this. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people expected maybe Chanel would be invited, but, I guess not. So yeah, a bunch of recent Eurovision names plus one not so recent Eurovision name in the form of Sonia. So yeah, these are the interval acts, and actually one thing that isn't mentioned here is that there was drama between the Ukrainian broadcaster and Ruslana. Of course, Ruslana was the first Ukrainian Eurovision winner with Wild Dances. Ruslana actually posted like this angry post on Instagram saying that she wasn't invited to perform at Eurovision 2023, and then later on the Ukrainian broadcaster were like, okay, we'll include her somehow. So yeah, there's that. We don't know what she's gonna perform yet, but I would imagine that it would involve wild dances. So yeah, and one thing that I forgot to mention, although I did mention it in the previous episode, is that Timur Miroshnichenko and Sam Kwek will be hosting the turquoise carpet and the opening ceremony. So yeah, there's that, and yeah, there's not much else to say that I haven't already said, but the stage is either currently being built or already finished as of recording this. I think I read somewhere that the stand-in rehearsals are going to start tomorrow, but I'll get back to that. But the stage is I think is complete now. And one thing that I don't think was mentioned here is that the actual stage itself will be revealed by the royal family. Yes, not the royal family, but just Charles and Camilla. So yeah, they're actually going to visit the M&S Bank Arena on the 26th, which is Wednesday as of recording this. They'll be visiting then, and they'll be unveiling the stage design. And from what I understand, I think it was the past few days, including today, that they've been testing basically just the lights for each song, basically. And then after that, we'll have the actual stand-in rehearsals, which I'll get to later because I found this image recently on Twitter. But yeah, so that's some information about the stage. And yes, it feels crazy that the royal family are being involved. Oh, to be fair, it is just like a week after the coronation, but still, it feels strange in our time to talk about the UK royal family being involved in unveiling the Eurovision stage. So yeah, there's that. That's interesting. we've already talked about the voting changes. Basically, you can vote from the rest of the world, as I will, but weirdly, they still haven't released the list of the countries, so I don't actually know concretely whether I can vote yet. But I guess we'll find out. I'm pretty sure I can because I'm not in Russia or Belarus. So yeah, rest of the world changes, and obviously no juries in the semifinals. There was the allocation draw, and later, of course, we got the running orders, and we also had the postcards, which is very interesting. I already talked about this in the previous episode, but basically, this year we have postcards which will feature 111 locations, which divides up basically to 37 from the participants' home country, 37 from the UK, and 37 from Ukraine. So there's a lot of places that are already been mentioned. In fact, if you follow the BBC Eurovision account on Twitter, they actually post like BTS content there, where they kind of detail what each participant is doing. For example, just today I added an entry to the blog post where Remo Ferrer from Switzerland went to Lake Maggiore in southern Switzerland to go wakeboarding. So that's very interesting. Let's see how many I can remember off the top of my head. The Familia Comendi, they went to the park in Tirana to have a barbecue. Taya and Selena went basically ice skating and kind of sledding, I guess. Gustav didn't really do much. I think he was just posing a little bit in front of the atomium. Let Free were fishing in the Mrtvi Canal. Mrtvi Canal, yeah. And then what's his name? Andrew Lambro was playing basketball at the mall's Promenade Park, which doesn't actually have a basketball court. They literally built like a little half court for him. And then Alika was at the Tallinn TV tower, just walking around the top and then like doing some poses. She didn't jump, but yeah. Yeah, she was just walking around the top. La Zaha was at the Palace of Fontainebleau, where she was riding a horse. Lord of the Lost was at the port of Hamburg, or rather just in the Docklands area. They were just kind of on a boat in there. I'm not sure what they were exactly doing, but they were in there. Victor Vernicos was at the Cape Sunion, where he just ran around a bit, did some boxing motions to the camera. So yeah, Wild Youth, they drove a really old car into Glencullen. The busker, they posed in this like old Maltese bus. Get it? Busker. And also they played frisbee at a beach. Pasha Parfeni was at what this calls Old Orhe, but I think it has a different name in Romanian. But he was here. He was, I think, planting some sort of blossom tree. No, I think I got that confused with the pre-party. But he was doing something there. I think he was planting some sort of tree-ish thing. Mia Nikolai and Dion Cooper were at Gendarme. They were, I think, just kind of roller skating. And then Blanca was at the University of Warsaw at the Faculty of Physics, where she pretended to be a DJ. I don't know why they went to the Faculty of Physics for that, but okay, sure. Theodore Andre went to the National Theater in Bucharest and dressed up in like this tuxedo and kind of did some miming motions, and also like pretended to be like imitated the poses of some of the statues. Joker Out actually just did their postcard at the roof of RTV Slow, where they had some pinball machines. This one's not confirmed, by the way. It's sourced here, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know for sure, but we haven't gotten the footage from BBC Eurovision yet. But I believe this was just for generic press photos rather than the actual postcard, so I'm not really going to talk about it, and I already talked about Switzerland. So yeah, there's also some other locations: the Angel of the North, the Independence Monument, the Stonehenge, and also I think just some generic streets and roads in Ukraine. I think were also talked about in the trailer. So yeah, there's that. And also, yeah, there's all these countries. I'll go through them very quickly because if everything goes well, this should be coming out after the top 37 video, so you know what I think about these songs. With Norway, we don't really have much. An Italian version of the song was released, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to Eurovision. With Malta, we also don't have all that much, I don't think. With Serbia, not much. Latvia, not much. Yeah, Portugal, they're keeping the cabaret feel in the final staging, but there's not going to be a sofa because apparently the sofa was from RTP. And we've seen Instagram stories now of them like rehearsing their slightly altered choreo. But yeah, Mimi Cat did say she wanted to keep the general feel of the national final performance. While Youth for Ireland, if you've watched the previous videos, you will know the one word that I was talking about. I'm not going to mention it here. You just have to watch the previous videos to find out. Croatia, again, not much. We don't know how much they're allowed to do on stage yet, by the EBU. Are they allowed to have those fake missiles? Are they allowed to show their asses on stage? If Noah Kirel for Israel, again, not much. We had one Instagram story of her rehearsing, and also she said in an interview that she wanted her performance to be like on the level of a Super Bowl performance, which they have a huge budget. Of course, they're gonna be able to do that. So yeah, that's that. And for Moldova, we don't really have too much. For Lorraine, we don't know much about the new staging, but she did say in an Ask Me Anything in Reddit, she said that the whole concept is ready now, and it's going to be inspiring or something along the lines of that. Azerbaijan, we never have anything. With Czechia, we also don't have much. With the Netherlands, there's been a lot of drama over alleged bad vocals at the pre-parties. There's even talk of them possibly bringing back a national final for the Netherlands, which at least on paper isn't really actually that bad of an idea. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of negativity surrounding this, particularly in Dutch media right now. So yeah, if you like the song, go show them some support, absolutely. And for Finland, we don't have much. We know that they've started rehearsing, obviously. Yeah, that's really about it. And also, if you're in Finland, actually, they released a new ice cream, which is apparently pina colada flavored. Although someone tried it and said it's tasted just more like pineapple. So make it that what you will. So yeah, let's also look at the big five countries. With France, we don't have much. Well, actually, there's also a bit of negativity in the press because apparently there was this unsourced article about Lazaha suddenly no showing the some of the pre-parties, and then some French press were just kind of slamming her for that, which is just not nice at all. But other than that, we don't really have much coming out of, in terms of staging. Although France is rising a lot in the odds, and with Germany, we also don't have much. With Italy, I think Marco Mangoni did a performance on, I believe it was German television, either German television or Italian television, I'm not sure. But what's noteworthy about that performance actually is that there were 4 dancers, and I'm not sure whether they're planning to bring that to Eurovision as well. But there were 4 dancers in the performance at the talk show or whatever it was. So yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with that. With that said, let's move on to the second semifinal. With Denmark, we don't really have much. We only know that there's gonna be a big change in the staging for Denmark. That would not look like the national final staging, apparently. With Armenia, we don't have anything. We never have anything. With Romania, we had a revamp of Degete Off and On, where basically like half the song was replaced with acoustic guitar. So the people who didn't like it just disliked it even more. Well, I'm kind of ambivalent towards it. So yeah, if it wasn't dead in the water before, sadly it probably is now. With Estonia, we don't have much, except we know that obviously the piano is gonna be in the performance, and actually it was already shipped to Liverpool, I think, in March actually. So yeah, there's that. We're definitely gonna get a piano, obviously. And actually, in terms of staging, one thing that I forgot to talk about is Lord of the Lost posted on Twitter about their props arriving in Liverpool. And what's interesting is that the person who filmed the warehouse, someone noticed in the warehouse that there were stairs, and a lot of people are trying to speculate who those stairs might be for, and personally I would think Lazaha, but who knows. Anyways, back to the second semifinal. Yeah, Alika is going to have the piano as expected. With Belgium, we don't really have much, really. Cyprus, neither. Iceland, neither, although today, or rather I think it was yesterday night, but they had, they've got a like Eurovision preview show called Atla Leith, and they previewed basically, I think, the first half of semifinal 2, and surprise, surprise, Iceland came out on top in the Icelandic preview show. How interesting. So yeah, there's that, but not much else is really coming out of the staging hints and stuff like that. With Greece, we don't have anything. With Poland, I already talked about this in the previous videos, but basically there's going to be a dance break. So yeah, no more comment on that. I've already commented on it enough. With Slovenia, we don't have much. Although they did post, I think yesterday, that they think it's sad that they can't play live. So yeah, there's that. And for Georgia, we don't have much. We only know that there's going to be choreo and there's going to be dancers, because I believe, no pun intended, I believe Iru posted an Instagram story where Marvin Dietman and I think some other dancer were just kind of discussing the choreo. So yeah, there's going to be dancers, as there should be, really. San Marino, not much. Austria. With Austria, we had the outfits for Eurovision that were revealed, and truth be told, it's not too different, at least thematically, to the music video outfits. As usual, Taya is wearing black, Selena is wearing white, but there's also highlights of red. And also there, in the London Eurovision party, they had some graphics that were made for them. and like I said, there was a Comic Sans UGH, right before the last chorus. Although, yeah, I read that it was made just for London Eurovision Party. We don't know whether those are going to be brought to Eurovision, but we'll have to see what happens. For Albania, we know that they're being staged by Sasha Jean-Baptiste, who's apparently trying to make the whole thing more dramatic. And I also forgot to mention that Switzerland is also being staged by Sasha Jean-Baptiste, as is Finland. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Yeah, that's Albania. There's not much else to talk about. There was this choreo going around, I think, for the Polish Eurovision Party or somewhere around there. And there was this kind of little goofy choreo, but apparently that's just the one from Festival Ikungis, so they're just not showing any new details, I don't think. For Lithuania, we don't have much. For Australia, we also don't really have much. Except the lead singer, who is, I think, part German. He actually starred in a cameo in the German Eurovision preview show. So, yeah, there's that. In terms of the Big Five countries, for Spain, RTVE, they bought a bunch of, they tendered a bunch of curtains, a bunch of red curtain thingies, which will no doubt be used for Blanca Paloma's performance. And also there's a slight revamp of Aya, which features, I guess, what you might call a gentler intro. It starts off lower pitched, and yeah, I guess it's just a gentler intro. I don't really know how else to describe it. For Ukraine, we have some staging details. There's going to be, I believe, 2 to 4 dancers. In the national final, there was only 2. There's also going to be props. I imagine it's going to involve the electronic screen thingy that was in the national final as well. And there's going to be completely different outfits between the national final and Liverpool. So there's that. For the UK, we don't really have much, although there was like some sleek text with a lot of the LEDs where, Mabel has been to all the pre-parties, and I imagine that's going to be in the final performance as well, but we don't know that for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the countries. We also have a few spokespersons. We have or spokespeople, I'm not sure. Spokespersons, yeah. For Spain, we have Ruth Lorenzo, who represented Spain in 2014, I think. And for Greece, we have Fotis Sergulopoulos. Sorry, God, that is a long name. But yeah, there's that. He's actually one of the more common names related to Greece at Eurovision. I think he was on the jury in 2021. And right now he's doing a show with one of the new commentators. So yeah, there's that. We don't have too many other spokespersons yet, but I'm sure more will be revealed, and you can stay tuned to that on my blog post. I'll be adding a new section for spokespersons. So then just stay tuned to that to see maybe you missed the news of your spokesperson. So that's it. Let's move on to the other countries. I've already talked about a lot of these, except Monaco. They actually announced the release, the launch date of their new broadcaster. I can't remember what it's called right now. Let me check. Yeah, it's called TV Monaco, and it's going to be launched on the 1st of September this year, which means, assuming they can get into the EBU on time, this means they can do Eurovision next year in wherever it is. So yeah, Monaco returning to Eurovision, more likely than ever. And again, I say that because I said it in the previous What We Know So Far video as well, but basically they actually allocated 100,000 euros to participating in Eurovision. So yeah, there's that. But now we have like a concrete date for the launch of their new broadcaster, so that's great. And another news that we got today about non-participating countries is that MTVA, which is the broadcaster from Hungary, they announced that they will not broadcast Eurovision 2023. You know, Kel Surprise and all that. Meanwhile, Luxembourg, Monaco, North Macedonia, and possibly Turkey are going to return to Eurovision, and then Hungary is just like, nope. So yeah, there's that. There's all these broadcasts. It's not super interesting, except if you're in the United States, you can watch it on Peacock. Johnny Weir is going to be commentating on it. Johnny Weir is basically an American Euro fan who is also an ice skater, a professional ice skater, or something along the lines of that. So yeah, that's about it. And also, of course, you have all these commentators and such. So yeah, that's really about it in terms of the wiki article. So with that said, let's move to my blog post, where I'll try to look for stuff that I haven't really mentioned yet. The first thing is that the press aren't allowed to see the first rehearsals anymore. The first rehearsal, that's we're going to get a little bit of footage of it, like last year through TikTok, but basically after that, the first time anyone can publicly see a rehearsal is the second dress rehearsal, or the first dress rehearsal, which is to say the jury show and the family show. So those are the kind of first times journalists can see what the live performances are going to look like. But yeah, there's going to be TikToks still. So yeah, there's that. And also, it wasn't mentioned in the Wikipedia article, but the music for the postcards are going to be composed by Dmitro Shurov, who is also known as Piano Boy. He was also the musical director of Vidbeer 2023. And also, ESC Discord revealed the voting prices this year for every single country, including non-participating countries. I wrote right here, the rest of the world vote will cost 99 cents in euro. So yeah, and also Israel is apparently also using a credit card based platform for voting. So yeah, I should have linked the website here, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. And also, one thing that's interesting is that Lee Smithers and Dan Shipton revealed that there's going to be a big change to live shows. We don't know what that big change is. They said explicitly that they can't say it, but it might have something to do with the colors of flags, apparently. They were talking about that before they announced this unknown big change. So we'll see what happens. Some people have speculated that maybe they'll bring like a 3D graphic back of a map of Europe. I don't know about that. I think that was only done in like the 90s and maybe the late 80s. And obviously that kind of fell out of fashion for a reason. So yeah, I wrote here that tickets went on sale on the 3rd, or rather the 7th, on Ticketmaster. But again, if you're watching this somehow before Monday, that is to say the 24th of April, then you will be able to try for a second round of tickets. So yeah, good luck on that. So yeah, there's also cheaper tickets for displaced Ukrainians. And yeah, there's in addition to the interval acts, we also have an intro where a boy from Liverpool travels across the city telling the family and friends that Eurovision is coming to his hometown. After that, we also have one VT where Mons Delmerlo and one of the 2018 hosts, Filomena Cartella, they will go through some sort of I would guess some sort of Eurovision trivia game, and see who wins. Yeah, so there's that, which is interesting, I suppose. And also, Timur Miroshnichenko and Graham Norton will also be kind of feature in the semifinal, as they check in on the hosts. And also, there's this thing where I read this online. I didn't get it from the BBC, but someone posted it, and I'll just keep it here kind of for reference. But apparently there's going to be Easter eggs hidden throughout the show, such as Jan Leeming and Ulrika Janssen appearing in the green room during the live shows, which is very interesting. There's also apparently going to be more artists to be announced still. I suspect one of them is Ruslana, but what do I know? So yeah, there's that, and there's the budget if you care about that. The pre-parties have all gone basically, and the main takeaways from it really are that Mia Nikolai and Dion Cooper don't harmonize all that well. Vesna could use some work on harmonization as well. Taya and Selena have great chemistry and great vocals. So yeah, that's mostly what we got out of the pre-parties, and also Iru, Gustav, Brunette, Monica Linkite, they all sang really, really well. Those are kind of the main takeaways, I think. There's also a lot of additional events. I'm not even going to read them out, except for the last one. Basically, we're getting the Royals visiting the M&S Bank Arena. They'll reveal the stage design. They'll meet the creative team, the hosts, and also May Muller. So yeah, the Euro Club is at Camp Inverness. There's all these names involved. Including Micro Rice, which is interesting, and also Selma and Frederick Omar, who I think was Iceland, one of the participants from Iceland in the 90s, which is a little bit random if you ask me, but hey, whatever. The Eurovillage is at Pierhead. There's all these names like Kalush, Goe, Eliona, Jerry Hale, and actually one thing that I wanted to mention, I said I wasn't going to read these out, but basically, actually, Krut is going to be at Sheffield. So if anyone who lives in or near Sheffield is a fan of Krut, I think you should probably go and check out the live screening at Devonshire Green. So after that, the important dates, we don't really have too much, except I'm going to talk about them right now because there's all these that I've already talked about. So with that said, let's move on to the final thing that I want to talk about, and that is allegedly a leaked rehearsal schedule. Now, this was posted by ESC.news on Instagram, and also I think by Eurovision Fun, which is this Greek news site that traditionally leaks stuff, but we don't know this for sure. Some people have said that this is actually fake, but apparently these are like the live rehearsals. Right now, or rather in the next, I think, 3 days, we're going to be having the stand-in rehearsals, and sometimes those get leaked onto Twitter as well, so wink wink, keep an eye out for those. Yeah, so there's that. So if you're on Twitter, keep an eye out for the stand-in rehearsals. And according to this schedule, we have the first live rehearsals, the first in-person rehearsals happening starting on the 30th this month and ending on the 6th. So make of it what you will. Some people have discredited it. I have no clue. I'm just putting it here kind of for your reference. And also the times seem kind of weird. This might not actually be CEST, because rehearsals usually tend to start maybe around 8 or 9 CET. But clearly they're starting 11:30 here, which is kind of late. So yeah, there's that. And I think at this point, that's the end of my that's the end of my What We Know So Far series for Eurovision 2023. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of news roundup series, and let me know in the comments whether you enjoyed it. If you do, I'll try to bring it back next year if I find the time. So yeah, that's what we know so far for Eurovision 2023 as of late April of 2023. Like this video if you enjoyed my commentary, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my upcoming videos, which really will just be the live streams of my reactions. I don't really have the time or ideas, frankly, between now and the shows to make any more videos, so the next videos are probably just going to be my live streams of the reactions if you're interested in that at all. So yeah, with that said, subscribe so you don't miss that kind of stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.